Alright guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to Brownlow Books. It is January 25th, which if you watched my last video, definitely was not my last video, but my video about Canada Reads 2023, you know that today is Shortlist Day. We are learning of our champions and we are learning of our books. So, if you are not familiar with Canada Reads, 5 famous or influential Canadians each get to pick a book from the 15-book long list to champion and debate and say that this is the best book that Canada should be reading right now. So, I have 5 people and 5 books to discuss. The debates will take place the last week of March 27th to 30th, on CBC Radio and I think televised and on CBC Books, because CBC be everywhere, yo. So, this year's theme, topic, one book to shift your perspective. Alright, so I'm going to go in reverse of how they listed them. So at the bottom they had actor Michael Greyeyes championing Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, which I think most of us know. I actually don't know who this actor is, other than it said he was in Rutherford Falls, which I really wanted to watch, but I'm not paying for Peacock to watch it, so there's that. So he's a, oh my god, how did I pronounce that? Nyaha? I think that's wrong. I think that was wrong. He's Indigenous. He's an Indigenous actor from Canada. The book. I feel like everyone knows this book. Emily St. John Mandel is a Canadian author who does not currently live in Canada. I don't think the book actually takes place in Canada either. But yeah, that aside, I feel like everyone knows this book. I feel like it's not going to change anybody's mind about fucking anything. I mean, it had a fucking TV show. So just, for me, I feel like it's too well known. It's maybe not Canadian enough. Obviously, I should preface this. I have not read 4 out of the 5 things on this list. So, I mean, this is literal, take this with a grain of salt from me because I don't know it. I haven't read it yet. You'll get another one of these videos later when I've read them all. So, for me, Station 11 is just not it. I'm sure it's a good book. People talk about her all the time, and I think she's had 2 books come out since then, so, like, probably a good book, but for me it's probably, like, he gonna have to champion this real hard to make it win for me. Next book from the bottom is actually Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, which is being championed by a book talker. TikTok creator Tasnim Gidi. I think the tag was Groovitas on TikTok. So yes, she'll be championing Mexican Gothic. She is Somali Canadian. She's working on a nursing degree. I cannot speak today. A nursing degree in Toronto. Ugh, I pronounced all the T's. Toronto. So yeah, she's championing that. Again, this is a book that's not set in Canada, and I feel like right now Canada Reads is really into, like, set in Canada, very much like Canadian story, not just a story that's written by a Canadian, you know, that small difference. But yeah, so what was her name? Tasnim Gidi has about, this says, I think it was just over 100,000 followers on TikTok. So when I made that joke that in 8 years, if you like and subscribe enough, I could be a fucking debater on Canada Reads, I don't think I was lying. Hit them buttons. So, Mexican Gothic is as it sounds, Gothic. It's Gothic horror, so generally means like not scary, just kind of creepy, right? You don't get the gore, because that's what I can't do with horror. I can't do the gore. I am not a gore. I do not. I like Al Gore. I do not like horror gore. All right. So I'll probably be able to read it, no problem. But just from what I know of it, it's not a winner. Eat my fucking words. I'll eat crow later. All right. Our next book is Hotline by Dimitri Nisrala, which is being championed by Bhangra. I can never say this. Bhangra dancer Gurdeep Pandar. If you're at all on the internet, you know him as the guy in colorful turbans dancing on frozen lakes and on top of the CN Tower and whatnot, and just bringing joy and delight to everyone. I like him. The book, potential. It is, Dimitri Nisrala is Lebanese and living in Montreal, I believe it was. So he does have that, like, first-person immigrant story to Canada, which, I mean, I love those. I've never shown you any, but I love them. So, like, for me, it's got pretty high potential. It is, I believe, a little more onto, like, the French side. So I don't know, sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. I mean, literally no one votes on this. It's literally the 5 of them that are voting. Like, they'll figure it out. But yeah, I think that's got pretty good potential. I mean, it's an immigrant story. And that's what makes Canada great. I don't have any more else to say about this. Okay, next book, second from the top. Actor Keegan Connor Tracy will be championing Greenwood by Michael Christie, which is one of the books that I own. So I was interested in it before Canada reads, which is so very rare. It is like I want to say like fully post-apocalyptic, but like all the trees are wiped out and there's these like 1,000-year-old trees on an island. Man's from Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island. It's from BC. Man knows trees, all right? So it's like a comparative, he's comparing how these like 1,000-year-old trees exist to like ancestry and genealogy of humans, and how nothing is just simple and straightforward. Everything's very like complex and intertwined kind of thing. It sounds very interesting, as long as it's not too like dystopian crazy for me, but like it is set in Canada. Canadian author, I'm like, yes, you too have potential. And then the last one, friends. Jeopardy super champ, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Mattea Roach will be championing Ducks 2 Years in the Oil Sands by Kate Beaton. I literally scared my cats off of the bed this morning when I read that Ducks was going to be on the shortlist, because you know how passionate I was about Ducks. And, yes. I'm very passionate about Ducks being on the shortlist because, well, one, because I said it's a very uniquely Canadian story of, like, the oil sands, which is, like, not a thing that you get a perspective of a lot because it is very much men and misogyny. But, because it's a graphic novel. It's a graphic memoir. And also graphic. I have such strong feelings about graphic novels. There's just like so many people out there that's like, that's not literature, that doesn't count. Graphic novels are for kids, and like they don't even let their kids read them because they're like, you should be reading real books. And I'm just like, so yes, very strong supporter of the graphic novel. And in the words of my friend Ash, I will literally poop on anyone who says otherwise. I mean, I feel like in my review of Ducks, I felt kind of in a slight indifference to it. Like, I was like, this is good, yeah, like, I like it, but, like, there was just something that I wasn't, like, grabbing onto. And, like, the more I've thought about it since then, I'm just like, ducks. So, yes, I am very happy that, they will be championing ducks. I mean, we've got 2 actors, a dancer, a TikTok creator, and then someone who is a champion on Jeopardy! Not saying anything here, but I'm saying something. But no, I'm very excited that ducks will be championed. I want people to see graphic novels as a valid form of literature to consume. Fucking weird ass thing to say. Read graphic novels, y'all. So yes, those are our 5 books that we've got, and our 5 champions. Very excited to see how it turns out. In terms of what I will be doing, I'll be reading them. I ordered them this morning, the ones I didn't already own, because I already had these 2. I've already read one. That's not one of these. But yeah, I'm excited. I feel very, like, amped up, like, the adrenaline running! Mostly because of ducks, to be entirely honest. I should say, Matea Roach, they are actually from Halifax, which is, you know, Nova Scotia. Kate Beaton from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. So they probably feel a real, like, connection to the book in terms of home and then being somewhere else. And probably some of the misogyny that goes along with, you know, existing in this world as a female or female presenting or not. It's just kind of being non-binary, etc. Being different. So I imagine they feel quite a connection to it in terms of that. I mean, I felt a connection to it as less existing in this world as a female. But yes, so 5 books. In terms of what I'm going to do, circling back to that, ADHD got the best of me there. I think I'm going to do all of my separate reviews for them and not compare them to each other. Just do a regular review that I would do, and then do one video at the end with what I want to win, having read them all, what I think will win, etc. And probably release them all the week of Canada Reads. Do you want that, or do you want them beforehand? Or do I do both? Do I release them like regular reviews and then release them as they're being eliminated the week of Canada Reads as well? Do like a double post of them. Ooh, I think I'm gonna do that. Because then you get to hear what I think about it in advance, and then you also get it on the day of the debates. That's interesting. I might do that. I should have thought about this before I talked to you about it. It's fine though, right? You don't mind. Okay, so Canada Reads, hosted by Ali Hassan, March 27th to 30th. I keep forgetting those days. Ducks by Kate Beaton, Greenwood by Michael Christie, Hotline by Dimitri Nisrala, Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. So that's how I think I'm going to lay things out. That way I can kind of stay on schedule with still giving a review every week while not having to push myself too hard to read extra books to, like, make up for the fact that I'm reading ones that I'm not showing you, which I do. So yeah, I think that sounds great. If you have an idea of how you want me to release these differently, maybe tell me. I'm open to suggestion. That's it for Canada Reads predictions, I guess. 3 books that I think could win and 2 that I definitely don't want to. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you around next time.